Hey, hello everyone, I'm David Guerrero and welcome back to another video here on Many Ways Films. As you can see, it's starting to snow, it's getting pretty cold, so it's probably gonna be a really short video. Anyway, in the video of today, I wanna talk about this lens right here. This is the Tamron Adaptall 2.5. I just got this lens like a couple weeks ago, and it's been a lens that I've been really happy with. Just for comparison purposes, I'm gonna put you the Z line lens on the Nikon Z6 II, which is what I'm using to record right now, so you can see the difference. The Nikon lens, it's about $300, maybe a little bit less. I'm gonna be putting the price down here, and this lens right here was about $70 more or less. The purpose of this video is not to tell you that this lens, it's a replacement for the Nikon lens, for the Nikon C mount lens, or that the C mount lens is better than this one. That's not what I'm trying to prove on this video. What I'm trying to do is show you how great these vintage lenses are. More than anything, I want to show you how good this lens is. It's not perfect like every lens out there, but I think it gives you a pretty unique character, and that's what we're going to be talking about in the video of today. One of the most important things that you need to know about this lens is that it's a manual lens. That means that it's not going to have any type of autofocus, so you're going to have to do all of your focus manually. I'm looking at the monitor app here so I can see if I'm actually in focus. So if you're gonna be recording yourself, you're totally gonna need a monitor to be able to see if you're focusing right. And even if you're not recording yourself, I think having a monitor when focusing manually, it's really necessary. For this part of the video, I want to show you the difference between this lens and the Nikon lens. So this is how it looks with the Tamron 2.5, the Adaptall 2. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put the Nikon C mount lens on the camera so you can see the difference. Right at this moment, I have the aperture as wide as possible, so that's gonna be a 2.5. My camera settings are 100 ISO, and I wanted to crank up the shutter speed rather than close the aperture, just so you can see how good it looks wide open. All right, and I didn't change any settings on the camera. Settings on the camera are the same, just having in mind that this lens is 2.8, so it's just gonna have a smaller aperture than this lens, but you're probably not gonna be able to notice the difference. What you could probably notice is the sharpness on this lens, the fact that it's an autofocus lens, so I can just move away and come closer to the camera. You know, when there's moving subjects, it's just gonna be easier to track. So that's probably why this lens, it's much more expensive than this one, considering the autofocus capabilities and the image quality. I would also like to show you the minimum focus distance for each lens. So I'm gonna be putting it down here on the description, well, just down here, so you can see what's the minimum focus distance. I think I'm pretty close right now, and I actually don't know if it's focusing the best, but I can tell you I'm really really close to the lens. I have the settings like this, so it takes a little bit to focus on me. Just I have it on the slowest because that's just how I like it. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on the camera so we can keep talking about it. All right, and now I'm gonna go ahead and show you the minimum focus distance with the Tamron Adaptall 2.5. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see. Sorry that you have to see me from this close, but I rather focus the camera on my eyes than focusing on a rock or like a wall or something like that. Pretty much anything else. But I'm pretty close to the same distance. I think the Nikon lens, it's able to focus a little bit closer than with the Tamron lens. So again, it's a much more expensive lens, not by a lot really, but the reason that I got this lens, I mean, it wasn't because I didn't have the 28 C mount or because I didn't like the Nikon lens. It's because I really like vintage lenses and they give you very unique looks. I've also been doing more film photography, and I'm using another Adaptall lens from Tamron, and they're really fun to play with. Again, I just love the look out of these lenses. When I have because I just got these lenses not too long ago, I'm gonna be showing you some pictures on a future video on how the images look, or you can just go into my Instagram and check them out whenever they come out. So all I can say is that if you have the 28 millimeter lens, or if you don't have it already and you're looking for some interesting lens to use with your Nikon system, or pretty much with any camera system, this is a great lens to have. I am really surprised. The only reason I made this video is because I really like this lens. It gives a pretty cool flare sometimes. It's kind of a blue flare. The lens itself looks kind of blue. I don't know why, but I like it. And it could be annoying for some, but I personally like it. And just the look of the lens, it's a plus. Again, it's a 2.5, so it's not gonna be the best for low light, but for like carrying around for some street photography, I think this is gonna be a great lens, which is primarily what I've been using it for. That's all I can say about this lens. Again, I really enjoy it, I really like it. It's up to you in the end if you wanna try this lens or any other vintage lens. What I can tell you is that this Adaptall lenses, they're pretty cool, and at least you should get one. They're pretty affordable and they can come pretty handy, especially if you have different camera systems. I have a micro 4/3 camera system. I have this full frame Nikon with the adapter, and then I have my film Nikon camera with the F mount. So I can really use these lenses in many ways. So thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, leave it down here. There's much that we can talk about this lens and many examples that we can show you, but again, it's getting really cold. So I'll see you in the next video, and have a happy new year. See ya.